What do you get when you combine a bitter ex, a championship boxer? A wedding that was never meant to be public, chaos, betrayal, and enough tension to black out all 5 boroughs of New York. What happened at Papoose and Claressa Shields' so-called private wedding is straight out of a Tyler Perry meets Soon-a-Twerk fever dream, complete with a flying wig, a screaming Remy, and a groom frozen like Elsa at the altar. You won't believe what actually happened behind those velvet wedding drapes. Stay put because what we're about to discover may be the most outrageous celebrity ambush of the year. But here's the real deal. Remy Ma didn't just interrupt the ceremony. He dragged Claressa in front of the guests, as if it were a WWE main event, and Papoose bro stood there like his Wi-Fi disconnected. Leaked footage, secret invites, and a lace front left behind like a fallen soldier. Since this story doesn't begin with once upon a time, it begins with Remy Ma not being invited. Now imagine a peaceful, dimly lit ballroom in the hills outside of Atlanta, with candles and violins playing, and guests whispering praise about the bride's dress. Everything appears to perfect. But in the world of hip-hop royalty, if everything seems to be going well, there's always a storm close by. The bride is none other than Claressa Shields, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and recent reality TV star, firecracker, and the groom, Papoose, the self-proclaimed king of loyalty. Or so we thought. Now, let's discuss why this wedding was kept a secret in the first place. Word on the street was that Claressa didn't want any outside energy. Translation: keep Remy Ma far away, but honey, this isn't just an ex-wife. This is Bronx royalty. She walked out in heels and a recording contract after putting in a 7-year bid. Remy didn't take it well when she showed up without warning, without an RSVP, with only red heels, a trench coat, and a mission. According to sources, she walked past security and told an usher, "Don't touch me." I got history with the groom and stormed into that ballroom like it was the final round of a rap battle. The wedding was captured on a private Snapchat story, shared by a mutual friend who unintentionally forgot to hide it from her. Witnesses claim that Remy didn't say anything at first. She walked straight up to the stage, locked eyes with Papoose, then turned to Claressa, and then the wig snatch heard around the world. Before you call this exaggerated, multiple sources confirm. It is a clip leaked online since scrubbed from TikTok. Toast, microphone in hand, champagne flutes raised, guests clapping, then the music cut, causing gasps, turning heads. And one bridesmaid whispering, "Oh no, no, she's here." Guests rushed to record from behind the centerpieces as Remy grabbed Claressa by the lace front and yelled, "You thought I wouldn't find out." This sounds like something that was scripted by Mona Scott Young, but it gets worse. The same man who once said, "I'll never let them disrespect my queen," just stood there with his mouth frozen slightly open, holding the ring box like in the meantime, Claressa, who is, let's not forget, a trained fighter, stood there with her wig in one hand and her pride in the other, whispering to her maid of honor, perhaps get my purse or maybe get my gloves. One of the guests told our team it was like his soul left the building. He was buffering in real life. This is where it goes from drama to dark comedy. According to an insider, Remy didn't even yell after the wig snatch. Instead, she just raised her glass, looked around the stunned room, and said, "Loyalty, Ty, may it rest in peace." I mean, Shakespeare, who the guests were stunned, and one woman fainted. Was security nowhere because in typical messy event fashion, they were apparently on a break. When someone else attempted to live stream the moment, she discovered that her phone was still in selfie mode. Claressa had officially entered the 5 stages of grief: shock, denial, anger, and bargaining, and she was obviously dragging someone later. But wait, this mess wasn't finished marinating. Remy takes out a manila envelope, and what's inside? Well, it's just some light paperwork, alleged DMM screenshots of hotel receipts. So, welcome to the proof that an Olympic guest was present. Remy waved the papers and said, "You've been sneaking around since last August. You told me it was about boxing. You didn't say it was this kind of ring." The room suddenly burst into silence. But let's take another moment to reflect that this was the turning point. It wasn't just about a wig anymore. It was about betrayal timelines, and a man who told two women they were his forever. And the worst part was that it was all unintentionally live. Appeared on Instagram before Claressa could even straighten her edges. Was reposted by Shade Room, Lipstick Alley, and yes, it was a phony Twitter account posing as Remy's chihuahua. As Remy turned to go, flipping her hair like a curtain call, Papoose finally blinked. Let's talk about that blink, because after standing motionless like a wax figure at Madame Tussauds, Papoose finally awoke from his shock trance. An unnamed guest who claimed to have lip reading said that rather than rushing to break up the fight or comfort his bride, he did something that left the entire ballroom gasping louder than Claressa. When her wig was lifted, he walked toward Remy. That's right, Remy, not Claressa. Now look, we've seen some messy post-breakup reunions in our time, but this was love and hip-hop. The resurrection. He didn't just approach her. He leaned in and whispered something in her ear. Experienced from watching a lot of reality TV, Papoose muttered, "I told you I wasn't ready. They pushed this wedding without me." A minute later, they pushed the wedding. And who was it? Claressa, her team, her manager, her hairstylist, and the wedding planner. Rumors had been circulating for weeks that Claressa was hurrying the timeline in an attempt to lock it down, before more drama involving Remy leaked. And it turns out that this covert ceremony might not have been as mutual as in the meantime. Claressa stood there, one lash hanging loose, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The bridesmaids were in ruins, and someone from the groom's side yelled, "This is why you don't do backyard weddings with industry people, those gold-plated." Invitations were suggested, and this manila envelope Remy dropped on the floor was picked up by Papoose. He didn't give it to Claressa, nor did he throw it in the trash. And in the corner, the violinist quietly packed up, whispering to himself, "I played for this." Then, in the middle of a $60,000 reception hall, one of Claressa's cousins, let's call her Kendra with the curls, lunged at Remy Mark. "Oh yes, you thought it was over, baby." But Remy was unconcerned. She sidestepped as if it was staged and clapped back with, at this point, half of the guests had left the cake untouched. And the DJ continued to play Beyoncé's Best Thing I Never Had on repeat, as if it were a breakup anthem sent from Iconic. Security, touch me and I'll drop more screenshots than an Android user. Icony security finally arrived 40 minutes late and panting, trying to defuse the situation. But let's face it, it's like trying to put out a house fire with a bottle of Fiji water. The heavens, and let's not forget the media, because by the time the video of the wig snatching went viral, it was already over wicked out weddings, and memes were appearing on Twitter more quickly than the drinks were going down. Remy, truly, said, "Speak now or forever, snatch this lace." Heferier was watching his entire reputation vanish in a single blink. Claressa had spent her entire life training for fights, but she neglected to train her guest. Asterisk list, and then the fake texts you. No, the screenshots that purportedly showed Claressa messaging Papoose while Remy was still residing in the house. Another thread said that Claressa had a burner Instagram account where she liked Papoose's pictures prior to the divorce being finalized. And the most damning was a purported direct message from Claressa that said she won't be around forever. Let me show you loyalty. Yikes. And while the internet was pulling people in all directions, Remy Ma disappeared. She left the wedding as if it were a scene from a scripted exit, got into a black SUV, and reportedly drove off without a hitch while blasting and rolling out her wig and her hair. A valet worker said that Rhee's driver took a detour to a hotel, only 10 minutes from the venue. Guess what, hotel? It's the same one where Papoose and Claressa were supposed to spend their wedding night. Wait, what are we talking about after the wedding? Conflict, secret meeting, an attempt at reconciliation because of what transpired next, which shocked everyone. Papoose never showed up. Claressa was reportedly at the hotel by herself, trying to contain her tears and trying to figure out how to take the wedding hashtag off her Instagram bio. There was no groom, no honeymoon suite, just a white dress that was broken and a missing manila envelope. Speaking of which, that same night, Remy Ma posted a mysterious Instagram story that was just a black screen with the words, "Truth always wins in the free the facts." The comment section went crazy. People pleaded for receipts. Fans flooded her head memes. And even Cardi B said, "Damn sis, now I need popcorn and a therapist." Papoose, see, that man went completely silent, no tweets, no Instagram updates. It's just one eerie Instagram story that showed him sitting alone on a bench in black and white the following morning with the caption, "Sometimes silence is the truth, sir. If the next day turns this scandal from shocking to career-ending." Let's fast forward to 24 hours after the wedding disaster. And believe me when I say that calling it a disaster is being kind. The internet went into full CSI mode, analyzing every angle of the leaked footage as if it were a Kennedy assassination tape. Memes were out of control. Wig jokes were common. And Remy was trending #1 globally for the real story starts the morning after, when Claressa Shields goes live on Instagram in tears, complete with makeup, a hoodie that was clearly not hers, and a caption that reads, "I didn't deserve this. Not on my wedding day. Not from a woman I once looked up UTO.BB. Be so dramatic. But baby, this wasn't just live. This was a televised breakdown with commercial breaks for sympathy." In addition to claiming that she and Papoose had been secretly engaged for months and had chosen a secret ceremony to preserve their peace, Claressa also claimed that Remy had been harassing her for weeks by sending her cryptic texts and even showing up at her gym without warning. However, things quickly became legal when her manager joined in and revealed halfway through the live event that we would be pursuing a restraining order and civil damages, a lawsuit against Remy Ma for physical assault and emotional distress. But it didn't end there. Her team said they had surveillance footage from the venue's exterior cameras that showed Remy arriving with a duffel bag of intent. What exactly is a duffel bag of intent, you ask? It allegedly contained a folder full of receipts, a satin drawstring pouch, and, wait for it, a change of shoes, made to hold the wig she grabbed. I mean, if you're going to crash a wedding, at least do it with accessories. However, while Claressa was crying live, the rest of social media had already changed its focus, because, just as her mascara was drying, Remy Ma dropped a silent bombshell. A video with no music or talking, just a slow zoom in on the wedding invitation that was mailed to her under the fictitious name Marie R. Scott. The caption read, "You invited me. You just didn't think I'd show up." Boom, plot twist of the century. Now the internet was Team Claressa, the victim, and Remy went too far. Team Remy handled the situation like a true queen, and nothing says closure like wig removal. But then came the unexpected turn of events. Someone in Papoose's circle, obviously fed up with all the drama, sent the press a juicy little PDF detailing exactly what Claressa would be entitled to if the marriage ended within 90 days. And guess what? She had everything to gain luxury. Cars, a condo in Miami, and royalties from the Black Love brand Yes, the same brand Papoose co-founded with Remy. Let's not forget that this wedding wasn't about love, but rather leverage. And now that it's public, everyone wants answers. Papoose hasn't spoken yet, but paparazzi saw him walking into a Manhattan studio by himself, wearing a black sunglasses head-down hoodie that said, "Love is a battle." Very subtle, sir, but in the meantime, Claressa fulfilled her legal threat by submitting documents, and that woman tried to humiliate me. But karma always comes back around, she said in her headline before an exclusive interview on The Breakfast Club. "I just didn't expect it to wear red heels of premium quality." Additionally, Remy Mark, Queen of Chaos, Empress of Emotional Warfare. And the star of a brand new documentary series has been working on a documentary for more than a year without being affected by the Remy Ma tale, according to reports. Producers, where one source even leaked a voice note purportedly stating, "I didn't crash the wedding. I walked into my closure, and if a wig had to go for peace to enter, so be it." They were hurrying post-production so they could use the wedding video as the season finale. Your Honor is iconic, so what's going on now? The legal process is moving forward, and Remy's team claims they will defend the complaint, citing emotional space as a defense. Claressa's public relations staff is putting in extra hours. To clear up the picture and Papoose, let's just state that we have been looking for indications of life. However, as the story comes to a head, a leaked voicemail from Papoose to Remy surfaced on blogs in which he purports to remark, "I never stopped loving you. I just stopped knowing how to show it." The internet is now asking the only question that matters. Was this a wedding or a reunion in disguise? This is the violent equivalent of alphabetical slaughter. After everything we saw, the stolen wig, the silent groom, the broken vows, and a lawsuit in heels, we have one question for you. Was Remy Ma out of line? Or did she do what most women only dream of doing when their ex tries to slink off with a wedding and a gold-plated guest list? Manila envelope, wig in hand, and the entire world watching. Remy Ma didn't just crash the wedding. She turned it into a televised TKO. And honestly, we're still recovering. Let's face it, this wasn't just a wedding. It was a war zone, complete. With floral arches, monogrammed napkins, and the fallouto baby. It's only getting started. Now, it's your turn to share your hottest thoughts in the comments section. Was Claressa an innocent bride caught in a Bronx storm? Or was it a calculated setup that went awry? Papoose, how did your loyalty end up being more lost than your facial expression during that entire wig-snatching confrontation? Come for the memes. Love the video. Subscribe for more twisted celebrity drama and ring that bell because we could. Just uncover the fight they tried to hide at the after party tomorrow? Is the gossip spill vibe where the truth comes out? Gets sarcastic and has no relaxation at all.